here in Nashville for the 7th Country Music Marathon and Half Marathon. I think it says a lot about the city of Nashville, what it has to offer.
Nashville, how are we doing? We are back with another episode of the Nashville Fit Podcast. My name is Savanna Hill. You guys can call me Sav, and I am here with my...
Don't laugh too hard, Sav.
Gerell,
serious situation.
Seconds before that intro, had to stand up because he had a cramp, and it was...
Literally, my hamstring was about to lock up. I was like, I did not want that on camera. Let me just cut. You know, I don't call a lot of cuts, but I had to.
No,
so you guys see me balled up on the floor.
It was pretty funny. No, but way to take the moment, because like that would have sucked, getting a Charlie horse right as we start.
Yeah. Which reminds me to tell you guys to hydrate. Our choice of hydration here is
as I reach for my Defiance fuel.
Defiance fuel. You see what I did there, Terry?
And
I
this
don't know if Terry is even in here or not, but yeah.
I want to make sure before we move on and I get distracted. We are in the Game Day Men's Health Studio.
Yes, we are.
Coming to you live, and our title sponsor for this episode is Waxing the City. So thank you to our sponsors. And we're going to get into Bill's story. We have our friend Bill Riddle here with us today. Bill is he has a really cool profession, and I'm going to let him tell you what it is here in a minute. But how are we doing, Gerell? Let's just kind of catch up a second.
Other than me, locking up over here, I'm good. Yeah. So I did a push workout this morning.
Oh, that's why the chest is chesting.
It was actually all, well, first of all, hold on. Trent, I got to move my mic. Can you zoom in, Trent? Does this zoom?
Can you do that pec dance?
Is this? No. Sam always gives me to act up on here. So no, it was actually a lot of legs. It's different if I say it to you. Like, yeah, those sitting up quite nice over there. So definitely getting a call from HR tomorrow. Like,
I am HR, so
Terry's gonna be like, hey, just want to talk to you real quick.
Welcome to Game Day Men's Health in Green Hills in Nashville, Tennessee. We are a men's health clinic. We're doing a lot with testosterone replacement therapy. So welcome to our clinic. What you'll be able to do is get your blood work. We'll send it back to our in-house labs. We'll test your total testosterone, your PSA, and then your H&H as well. So we'll get those results within about that 20-25 minute mark. You'll be able to sit down with our licensed clinician and go over your results. We do a lot with medical weight loss, vitamin injections. We have a few ED services as well. And then we also do a lot with peptide therapy as well. And it is something that you want to move forward with if it makes sense. You should be in and out in about 45 minutes.
About Sav's pecs.
Yeah. Can't say that on camera, but no. Yeah, and so I'm probably just a little dehydrated after. It was mostly legs though. It was legs and back actually.
Okay, yeah. I haven't actually worked out today. I'm taking a friend's class tonight. So
okay. You use the classes as your workouts usually?
No.
Okay.
It's actually Anthony. He's on this team. He coaches at All Strength in Brentwood, and he's starting a new functional strength class. So I'm going to go check that out.
Check it out. Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
I know it's going to be fun.
Yeah. Shout out to Anthony.
But it's at 6 p.m. So I got to.
Pace yourself.
Yeah. I don't normally work out at night ever.
Yeah.
What's your preference?
Like if your day is wide open, when would you work out?
Probably like mid-morning.
Same.
Because then I've woken up, gotten to eat something, gotten to move around a little bit. It's not the ass crack of dawn, so I'm not like stiff and tired and grumpy.
Yeah, making yourself go. He's like, I've woken up naturally. Yeah. Kind of got into my morning vibe, got whatever I needed to do done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually
I'm
woke
not
up
rushing.
I actually woke up this morning, and this kind of fits the narrative, but I woke up this morning, and before I went to go work out, I remembered that I had to send Terry something. And so I sat out and did some work and then sent Terry an email because I was supposed to send it last night.
Proud of you.
Yeah. So I was like, first thing before I have to earn my workout today by doing some work.
Sure.
And sending Terry this article.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure I didn't come here and get fired today. It's like, today's Gerell's last day. But yeah, before we jump too deep into your story, Bill, we're gonna do what we call the basket of debate. Now, the basket of debate is globally known.
Okay.
Not globally, locally. We've been on TV once with the basket of debate.
Okay.
And so
Laura Schweizer knows what it is, which is pretty cool to us.
So what it is kind of our icebreaker. So we're just gonna take one of those.
One of these.
Yeah.
Got it.
And it's kind of an open debate of we don't know what they say. So we'll all read ours individually, and then we'll kind of jump into.
Sometimes we all agree, sometimes we all disagree, but it's just
it's what makes it fun. All right. And you'll go first.
Oh, I'm first. Okay,
Yeah.
so in or out, winter outdoor running.
Out.
winter outdoor running.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that?
You prefer
Y'all
it?
think I'm gonna say out? No. I did it the other day.
We don't think you're gonna say out. Yeah, I don't like the cold.
I like that I'm not really a runner, but like I consistently do weighted runs since the summer, and it's kind of just like I don't post about it. I just do
Just
it.
go do it?
And I'm
Yeah.
not like I don't have a program or anything.
Just feel like running.
But
do it.
Forrest Gump,
for some
felt
reason,
like running.
it's like a really great way to get, like out of my normal routine. I don't go that far. Definitely don't go that fast, but it's just been my little like thing, for me, and it's given me like confidence about running. Like, I feel like if you asked me to run a marathon, I could do it. I'd probably hate it, but I would get through it, like I'd get through it.
Okay. What about you, Bill?
Well, I mean, even though I've got like a runner's body, I'm probably gonna go no because I like running in the heat.
Same.
Like I love the heat. The hotter it is, the better for me.
Yeah. Take your shirt off.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you just got you
Gotta put them out
You
there.
gotta give the girls what they want.
You know it.
Yeah, see, for
I'm
me,
with
it's
you.
got to be like extreme conditions where it's boring,
Like really hot or really cold.
or with a weighted vest on, or it's
about-
raining. I'm in a movie. I'm running from
you run in the
dinosaurs.
rain? Oh, wow. Okay.
I did a whole vest workout in the rain, and I was like, should I post this? This is so outside of what I normally do,
That's why
but
you
I
should,
haven't posted it.
that's why you
But
should post it so people can
I think
see
I
it.
will.
What are you
Yeah.
wearing, first of all?
that's why I didn't post it. 'Cause it was really dark. I was wearing like sweatpants and running. I just looked like not very cute.
Well, I was going another. I was like, I don't know if you want to be, soaking wet. You might get a different audience.
Oh yeah, no. I'm
Yeah,
not-
that would be-
I'm
yeah.
not-
Yeah, you might. That's what I said. What are you wearing?
Yeah.
Get some more views,
If I did
Yeah.
like what t-shirt contest look, I would definitely have already posted that.
So definitely.
But no, I look like a hobo.
All right. Mine is in or out rest days. Do you take them, or are they just not for you? Rest days.
Absolutely take them.
You take them? You schedule them, or is
No,
it like
I
whenever
don't schedule them.
Okay.
No.
It's like just whenever I need a day.
Yeah, like if I know, like I've gotten to a point where I definitely can tell if I'm like, oh, you're just being, I don't have to work out today. Like,
Yeah.
it's technically a rest day. No, like if I feel good that day, I will work out. But if I'm like, oh, I'm gonna work out today, I typically just kind of tell myself I'm gonna move every day.
Yeah.
Right.
How heavy I lift and how much I do is debatable.
So you do something every day, 7 days a week?
For the most part,
Really?
maybe except for Sunday, but there's definitely a rest day in there.
Yeah.
At least one a week, and it's usually when my body has asked me for one.
Okay.
And it's like, yeah, we're done.
Okay.
Chill the fuck out.
Yeah. I schedule mine. I usually do 2 a week.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like a 3 on, 3 off type of guy. Like so.
But you follow like a program, whether or not that's like someone else programming for you or you programming for yourself. You've mentioned like I'm on a program.
Yeah. Yeah. I program for
not.
myself, but and I follow, and I schedule those just because of the way that I train.
Mm-hmm.
And I know in order for me to feel my best, then I need to take a rest day.
Yeah, that makes
But you
sense.
can feel it though, right? Like you like you need 2 days.
Not always, right? Sometimes, like even on my rest, I want to go do something. It's
Right.
hard for me
Mm-hmm.
to take those, and I think it's just my personality type. It's hard for me not to do anything. Like
So you gotta
I
make
say,
yourself do
I
it.
have to make myself like, all right, Wednesdays are off days. You're not doing anything. On Thursdays or whatever day I take it. It's like, okay, we're not doing anything. And then we try to find a way to do something else.
So would like going to shoot some basketball or do something like that, would that be part of the rest? Or would you count that as being like, I'm doing something?
So that's an active rest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yes, it would be, but I don't.
Okay.
Like usually if I'm resting because it's still energy expenditure.
Right.
So if I'm going,
I do think it's important to have like a complete rest day. Like
Shut
at
it all
least
down.
one.
Yeah, just to let your body kind of like do nothing.
Yeah.
And
Well, because we talk
refuel.
about how more than half of it, like muscle growth and strength and all of that is recovery.
Yeah.
You know, like what you do in the gym is not what's growing your muscles.
Yeah.
It's what you do outside afterwards.
You can't be under a constant state of stress.
Right.
So, as much as I like to go, like I just like to move anyway,
Yeah.
So it's like it's tough. I still may sneak some stuff in. Like
Do you still get your 10,000 steps on that rest day?
no. No. But
I
I'm
probably
also
don't get
not
10,000 steps.
and I'm probably not the one I'm not a you have to get to 10,000 steps a day person
Right.
either. Like
neither.
I think it depends on what your regimen is.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what your lifestyle is. Like that's just like I don't think there's a one size fit all for anything, right?
Agree. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just
I'll go through seasons too. Or like
I'm not opposed to it,
Right.
but I don't live I don't count. I couldn't tell you how many steps I've had. Like,
Yeah.
but I know I'm not like laying in bed all day. I know I don't sit for 7 hours.
Well, and then life happens. You get sick. Like I got sick over Thanksgiving. Did not intend to be resting for 4 days in a row.
Yeah,
that
right.
never is something I do.
yeah, sometimes your body makes you.
had to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
which is why I
says-
try to schedule them so my body doesn't make me.
That's that's an important thing to point out because like even though we know how important it is to take that time,
Yeah,
Right.
our personalities we like to
Yeah.
move, you know?
Right.
So it's like it's hard to be
You're
like
fighting
but I
it.
feel
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Why do I
yeah.
need to rest?
Yeah, like I'm fresh. Like and those are the words. Like when to your point, when I feel it, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna lay around today.
Yeah.
When I feel great, it's sunny outside. It's like perfect weather. It's like I need to go do. Like I gotta go do. And so I still may sneak and do something and call it a rest day. Oh, today's gonna be I'm gonna run and then do some stretching or I'm gonna make myself like just because I want to move that day. All right, what do you got, Bill?
So rest for sure. And I was just thinking about this. One of my biggest jobs as a college tennis coach is getting our players to identify that time to rest and kind of shut it down, especially after, like a long week of training or a couple of matches, they don't want to, but I got to be the voice of reason. Say, look, Sunday, we're just shutting it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever day it is.
And now you've heard what Bill does. We're
Oh,
gonna get into that.
We're
We haven't
we're teasing it. We're teasing it, right?
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
I love
We
it.
haven't scratched the surface of what Bill does.
I can't wait. I'm very excited.
Yeah, one more debate
I
there.
think it's
On
fine.
this?
No, on
no.
yours. Oh, was that? No, that was.
That was I did the
Oh,
first
you went
one.
first. Never
I went
mind.
first.
I'm sorry.
My
I'm
turn.
all out of order. Yeah, my bad.
All right. When you're working out, there's a spelling error in here, but I'm not going to embarrass whoever types it.
Don't call him out.
Somebody could have
I
jumped
am
over that and just
totally
kept
the
going.
grammar police. We're gonna spare Terry on this one. When you're working out and you see a familiar face at the gym, do you A, head nod, B, fist bump, C, pick the weights back up because you don't want to be bothered and nothing gets in the way of your gains with 4 Z's?
It's like that
I
was for
like
me.
this question.
Yeah.
Depends on who that familiar face
Right.
is. I've had people like make eye contact with me and look away. I have been the person to make eye contact
Right.
and look away. I have had full blown conversations with certain people. I have head nodded. I have fist bumped. I have picked the weights back up because I don't want to be bothered. I've done it all.
Yeah, I was gonna say D, all the above. It just
Yeah.
it depends on who the person is.
Yes.
Depends on what I'm doing and where
Depends
I
on
am
what time it is.
in my workout.
Yep. What I've been doing that day, how I feel.
Yeah, if I'm in my feelings, then I'm probably not gonna, I'll probably talk to you. I'll probably give you that on the way out.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and I
and
don't
then-
work
Yeah, you might get that
anywhere-
anyway, though. You
yeah,
get a double.
Yeah, the double. Or if I have my contacts in or not. Because I
Right.
may look at you and I was like, I think that's Sam, but I'm not.
That's so funny you say that because that happens to me all the time. Like I will see people from across the gym and they're waving at me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Who
You're like,
is that, right?
Me?
are they waving? Oh my God, I can't. Your face is blurry until you walk right up to me.
Yeah.
Because I
And,
might
then, and so the crazy thing is, Bill, I've fussed at Sav about this. this exact thing.
Oh.
Really? We would go to the gym, and I'll be walking in, and Sav would be in the middle of the workout, and she would just look at me like, turn back around, like, so you're not gonna say anything? Nothing? Like, we do a whole podcast together. I don't get nothing. You get nothing. A fist bump, a head nod. She was like, all right, then, yeah. And I'm like, I
know Gerell well enough.
Maybe she's in the zone.
Gerell, when he's training,
right.
This is where my thought process was that day. Is like, I know Gerell well enough to know that when he's training, he probably is dialed in.
Yeah.
He's probably very focused, taking it really seriously.
Yeah.
And that's how I like to train. People don't assume that when they know my personality. Which is why I find myself in situations where I'm like, hey, girl, that's great. Great to see you.
Please walk away.
Right. I'm working out. I don't want to talk right now. So therefore, that day when I saw you, you're working out.
Because we never see each other at the gym. So I was actually excited. I was like, hey, that's Sav. And she was like... It's like seeing, like, she was
because
like,
Gerell's also this, like,
turn around.
cool,
like,
maybe she didn't have her contacts in.
And I'm just
I was right here. I was literally right here.
Okay, all right.
But, like, I'm also thinking about, like, Gerell's this really cool, muscly black guy in the gym. And I'm in Carbon, and at Carbon, I stand out as, like, the weird white girl that's crawling around in the corner. So,
do you know?
I mean...
I'm literally the only black guy in there.
Depends on what I'm doing that day. Depends. Well, you should come to the other one. Okay. Depends on what I'm doing that day. But my thought process is also like, Gerell's really cool, and like he's probably not going to want to talk to me. And I'm very outgoing on the podcast.
I feel like she's backpedaling over here.
Yeah. You hear this, Bill?
Yeah.
You're a coach. You understand excuses, right? Like
I'm hearing some excuses right now.
At the gym, I don't know. And I think too at the time, like, we had never had an interaction outside of the podcast.
See my boys. I was excited for that.
Talk to me outside of work.
He was needing a little something. He needed a little love, right? Just give him something.
Well, now I know, and that makes me feel a lot better.
And she just started back front squatting, whatever you were doing that day. Like you're front squatting.
People I work with that are like, I'm not friends with you outside of work, and I'm like,
really?
Noted.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh, people take that really seriously, and I have a hard time with that.
Oh,
because like I like being friends with my coworkers, and
wow.
Why not? I don't need to tell you my trauma, but like,
but we can
still hang out,
like. But what I'm hearing is he needs something.
I am.
Yeah, he needs something.
She knows my personality.
Now she knows.
Yeah, I'm very needy, Bill. I have an ego. I got
you.
I got you. I have to reassure Gerell that I still love him.
Did I do something? What happened? Like, is everything okay, Sam?
Did you shower? Did you shower that day though?
I was gonna take her headphones out. Like, hey, are we okay? Everything all right? Like, what's going on? Like, you gonna talk to me, girl?
And I'm over here like, I'm flattered you even wanted to talk to me. Cool.
Bill, we want to jump into who you are and your story. I think what most people are probably thinking right now is, do you think you can beat me in tennis?
Yeah, 100%.
100%. Wow.
100%. Yeah. And actually, I'll throw a little money if you want to, bro.
Oh man.
And a fist bump.
I'll take the fist bump because I actually don't play tennis at all. So
it's one of those sports that I really have always wanted to play, but I'm just like, I never, but I'm like, I will play it.
One of these days.
It's one of those sports that you can play later in life.
It's a lifetime.
Yeah.
And now you got an in.
And I'd rather do that than golf.
There you go.
I'd rather do that than golf too, because golf is very one-sided.
No, it's not. Golf
I
is
play golf.
amazing.
I'm not bad at it, but if I'm gonna like get obsessed with a sport in my like later years, it's gonna be tennis.
It's pretty slow though.
Tennis is gonna be golf. Oof. I'm telling you. Golf because it's never the same.
I like
if you're
having
good at
healthy
tennis,
hips.
I bet you like the outfits though in golf.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
Listen,
there it is. I don't even like the outfits in either sport.
I always tell. Trent is our neighborhood golf expert, and I tell Trent, listen, you may beat me in golf, but you won't outdress me. I'll have the better.
Yeah.
Like when we walk into the clubhouse, people are like, oh,
that's the guy right there. That's the baller right there.
That's the guy that I'm watching today.
Well, golfing is like a whole business transaction. Like that's how you like. Lock eyes with the other alpha males in the world. You're like, we're going golfing, and then you dress the part, and it's
so what would tennis be?
Meaning he we can do business.
We can do business.
So, yeah.
I don't know what tennis is.
What would tennis be?
I don't know what tennis is. I just know that about golf.
Okay, Bill, how did you get
That's
into
how
tennis? Let's start there.
Women make friends in adult.
Well, it's funny because I grew up outside Nashville, Mount Juliet. Back in those days, there was nothing out there. It was, country kind of farmland. This was a long time ago. And, growing up, played all the sports, football and baseball and basketball and everything. And tennis wasn't really cool, but I just had this connection to it. I'd see it when it would come on TV, back when you only had 3 channels. Mm-hmm. And
really, tennis was really one of those.
Yeah, it was one of the sports, and just kind of fell in love with it. And then after high school, I had a car accident and found my way into tennis as I was kind of like trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing, and got into teaching it, but also trying to play it, and just. It's been 35 years now of nonstop tennis. And I think it was, I think that car wreck was something that was planned for me to put me on this path. And
God's direction.
He said, look, you're going this direction and it's where I'm supposed to be. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. I love it. And it's a passion as well as a job.
Wow.
I want to talk about tennis and the body, because we were just talking about golf too. And from a coaching perspective, I've trained a lot of people who have played golf,
right?
And have pain. I like managing pain. I like helping people with pain. And a lot of people who play golf have come to me with pain, not knowing that it's from golf.
Right.
And it's probably not only from golf. There's definitely other factors involved, with any kind of pain, but comparing that to tennis, I haven't had any clients that have come and said, I'm a tennis player. I have pain, this and that and the other. Because I don't feel like it's
tough on the body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like golf is one of those things that you look at golf and you're like, that's so gentle and nice and relaxing. And it is, but you're repetitively using one side of your body. Whereas tennis, you are using both, and you're very much so. It's very, I think of athleticism when I think of tennis, mostly because I think of Serena Williams and hello.
Yeah,
but
that's an athlete.
Yeah, so let's.
But I think Serena would have been good at anything.
Oh yeah,
well, she's
Serena
just
Williams.
Athletic.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
Yeah.
She's
athletic.
She's had it. Yeah, it was one of those like.
Well, there's other female, black females specifically, athletes who I could say the same about. Mostly because they're black female athletes. They can probably pick up anything you throw at them.
No, there's definitely those injuries out there. I think, what I see, because I spent a lot of years as a country club tennis pro. Mm-hmm. And so you'd see those people coming over from the golf course, but you've got the back issues. And it's, once again, I think every sport, you've got those people who don't put in the work to prepare their body to play, even at the recreational level, which is a really, really interesting thing that when we start talking about pickleball in a little bit, that's one of the big things there. But tennis players, same thing. Like if they don't put in the effort, the work, the stretching afterwards, a proper warm up, and strength training. Yeah. Just some basic stuff. I mean, just a stretch after you've played, just, a dynamic warm up before you play, just to kind of get your body moving. A lot of times people will jump out of the car, they grab their bag, they go to the court, they do, they reach down and tie their shoes, and then they're off playing. And, you just can't do it. Especially, tennis around here, you play on a hard court, and it's brutal on your body, especially if you're playing regularly. I mean, it's playing on concrete. It's just not giving you anything.
What's the difference between playing on a court and a dirt court? Like
so
a hard court, or would you call it? I don't know.
So a clay court.
Clay court.
So, clay courts here in the States are basically like a green color clay. Mm-hmm. They're a little slower, definitely easier on your body. It's more cushioned. So you're not, I can tell a huge difference if I'm teaching all day on a clay court versus teaching all day on a hard court. I mean, I can feel it in my knees and my back. But then, in the summertime when I'm over in Europe or something like that on a grass court, much different. It's soft
faster?
as well. Oh, it's very fast.
Okay.
Like it's crazy fast. But then what happens is on a grass court, if you ever watch, Wimbledon in the summertime, you'll see it start off and it's really fast and it's green and it's lush. And then after a week, then it starts getting chewed up and then it becomes really, really dirty and kind of gritty and crazy bounces. And so over the life of the tournament, it changes.
Yeah.
So it's just
So
different.
day to day is another obstacle, something that you have to think about. Even as a coach, it's like, hey, today the court is trash.
Yeah,
you gotta make sure.
Well, it could be faster. It could be a little slipperier.
It's giving me like running on pavement versus sidewalk. Runners will say like, I prefer running on the tar pavement because it's softer than the concrete on the sidewalk.
Well, even as a coach, I mean, the little bit that I do play still, the last 2 summers going over to London for Wimbledon, this past year I kind of pulled a labrum. The court just kind of slides on you. So, and last year I did tweak something else. And so, depending on the court speed or the slipperiness, I mean, you can kind of tweak something all the time. So it really is dependent on the court surface.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does training a tennis athlete look like?
A lot of it's mental because you have so much time that you're actually not playing in between points. But the piece that gets overlooked the most is the physical side. Just doing the basics really, really well. Like I said earlier, the warm ups, the stretching, the hydration. Fuel your body properly. Those are the things that I'm really constantly kind of trying to get across to our athletes, our players, is all these other things. I mean, it's great that you have an amazing serve or a big forehand, but if we don't have all these other little pieces out there, it's not going to matter. You're not going to make it into the second set.
Like a basketball player, I got a great free throw, but me personally,
right?
Like I can free throw all day. Put an opponent
right
next to me, I suck. It's like I'm a whole different person. Yeah. I'm not the same athlete. Yeah, you have to I imagine because when I'm thinking about tennis, and this is like where I was with the golf thing, is like golf you're staying in one spot.
Yep.
Tennis you're moving around everywhere. You have to cut. You have to learn how to change angles.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm so curious about it is because it's a very popular sport among older adults.
Yeah.
It's something that can last you a lifetime. How? Because there's got to be, people who aren't prepared to play tennis and they go, oh, but, my grandparents played tennis, like I see, I'm getting, I need something to keep me moving. I'm a mom. I don't have I can't, go to the gym every day. Tennis is perfect for me. Boom, let's do it. And then
it's got that social aspect to it.
Sure.
So if I want something more than just going to the gym, going for a run, I need the interaction of people. Then, tennis, that's where we find a lot of people coming into the sport. They grew up playing soccer or baseball or basketball. And at 35, you're not going to do that. Mm-hmm. But you can still play tennis with your friends. At 50, you're still playing tennis with your friends. It's hard to find a 50-year-old basketball player, that's getting to play on the weekends or, have that outlet to compete.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's perfect for it.
What would you say, because all of that still, tennis still requires, a good amount of athleticism. You might not have to run back and forth to the court from basket to basket. You might not have to jump as much. But how is it more adaptable for more people of all ages than something like basketball or soccer?
Well, I mean, you're not covering as much ground,
sure.
Especially because adults are playing a lot of doubles, so it's 2 of you out there covering the court as opposed to
you got a person on
a lot of singles play. Plus, too, I mean, the technology that's in the rackets nowadays, the racket will do a lot of the work for you.
Oh, wow.
Literally, I mean, you could just rip a ball at me, and if I put the racket out there, I take my trusty head racket and stick it out there, it's going to get the ball back over. It may not be the shot I'm looking for, but there's so much technology in the rackets and the strings that it's going to do a lot of work for you.
Oh, I would love to talk about that.
Let's go there.
That sounds fun to talk about.
I didn't think there was technology in rackets.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
now,
but it makes
I understand
sense that
like
there
in
would
golf
be.
clubs, there is, but I don't understand what kind of technology.
So
What does that look like?
Yeah, go to Walmart and just pick up a racket, right? And it's going to $20, and it's basically aluminum. It's like your pie plate back home, right?
Yeah.
In the kitchen. But if you go to a pro shop or you get something that's more pro line, then it's graphite, it's titanium. It's going to be something more durable. It's lighter. It will actually also, the thicker the racket is, or the strings are really, really important. Like probably the most important thing is the strings you put in the racket, because they come in different thicknesses, and the tension that you put in there will do different things to the ball.
Oh my God, that reminds me of like making a guitar.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, even if it's like today, it's a little colder, so we're going to string our rackets a little bit looser to kind of compensate, versus if I'm playing and it's 95 degrees.
You restring rackets before?
You have to do the same
yeah.
thing with a guitar.
Yeah.
I played
So
a
it's not
summer
just
gig
like I'm
outside.
playing
No,
with
but
my
our players
my
will-
hand down the
I used
Wilson
different
today?
strings for the summer gigs that I had outside
Yeah.
than I used for indoors.
Yeah. So if we're
Wow.
playing from indoors to outdoors, or from it gets cold tomorrow, we're going to change the strings. A lot of times, like our guys are breaking strings in a day. Like they're just hitting the ball with so much spin, so much force that the friction of it snaps a string. So we're restringing constantly.
How long does that take to restring a racket?
I mean, I can probably do a racket in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
But I've been doing them for a long, long time. But once you do your racket over and over, you can get quick as 10 minutes,
Really?
Yeah. It could take you an hour. It could take you 10 minutes. But string is where the rubber meets the road. I mean, it's like your low profile Pirellis that you put on your sports
Jeez,
car.
Come on, talk dirty to me.
Come on, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I never thought about but it makes so much sense because you said restring a tennis racket, and I immediately went to guitar.
Yeah.
Because I play guitar, and it very much so matters. People don't think about that. Temperature matters. The thickness of the strings is going to affect, the sound. It's going to affect how easy it is to play it, how easy it is to bend the strings. It makes sense that they would apply that to a tennis racket.
I mean, most people go to they buy their first racket, and the women are the worst of this. They're like, that's a really cool color. I want that racket
I'm sure.
based on the color.
We did the same thing with sets.
No, come on. And then they start playing. They're like, man, I really would like to play better tennis. I'm like, let's upgrade that racket.
So do I need to upgrade the racket? I can't just restring it.
Upgrade the racket and the strings. Yeah,
Okay.
because you want something
buy
that's
a new racket.
So basically, buy a new racket. Buy a racket at a pro shop, at a club,
Okay.
and let the pro help you find the right thing.
Okay.
The good thing is that you can go out and just demo the racket. So I'll go out if you say you want to play tennis. I'm gonna go out there with 4 or 5 rackets and say, try these out, and you tell me what feels good to you.
Oh, it's like test driving a car.
Basically, and you won't even know why it feels good, but you're like, something about this racket feels good to me.
That's literally the same with guitars.
But the problem is, though, you look at the pros on TV, and people go, "Oh, I want to play like Federer, so I'm going to go get his racket." Well, his racket is twice as heavy
And made for him. Right.
balanced for him. Not something that you need to be playing with as a beginner.
Sure.
Yeah.
What do these rackets cost?
This is so cool.
I mean, a good racket's going to
Good
cost $150 to $300.
What's the most expensive racket you've seen?
Most of them are in that $250 range.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. It's
that's
not. It's
What
not
about
so
a golf
bad.
club?
a golf club?
Yeah.
Oh,
What's the
man.
most expensive one you've ever seen?
Like drivers can be like,
Yeah, Trent. We can
$500
go
bucks?
I don't even know if I want to
5
know.
to 7. We can go. Yeah, we can go 700 easy.
yeah, and you
That's
need
one
what?
club?
12 of those?
Ew.
Yeah.
10 of those, something?
Yeah, it depends
I
on
have
how.
so
Again,
much
it
to
depends
say
on who
about
you
that.
are
And the bag.
and yeah, it depends on
Yeah.
who you are, how
I know
many clubs
exactly
you
who's
carry.
buying that too.
Yeah.
Listen, if I had the money, I would be buying it, and I don't
I'm
even.
sure
and
you
I don't
would.
even
You
pay
like
it.
the outfits?
My wife is like, I bought a new set. I just bought.
I'd maybe get a whole set for 500.
No,
A
you
whole
won't.
set.
Not a good one.
Where where you going?
not a good set.
Where you going? The pawn shop?
Yeah, right. From Playing Against Sports, maybe. But
She's shopping at the van down by the river or something.
I don't want to play golf.
I bought a new set of clubs. My wife was like, "You spent how much?" And I was like, "Listen, Okay,
It's an investment.
It's an
investment.
Start there first of all
in my game.
You understand, babe? Like I can't be out here with just some. Like I can't go to these nice golf courses and I have.
Yeah, you do.
Right?
You got to look.
People judge you. Do people judge you on that?
100%.
Okay, because I said I got judged.
100%. I'm keeping it real.
Times I've been judged.
Yeah, I got judged. And trying to think this is funny. I was playing in a NFL PA tournament, right? Here in Nashville, and my bag fell off the back. Right, so that's mistake number one. So we're driving, my bag falls off the back, and like my balls,
I know what you're talking about.
My golf balls spill out. Right, so one of the guys was like, "Yo, you can't. You only be playing with these type of balls out here." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, people gonna judge you." Like he was like, "Yo, you gotta."
What did you have?
They were.
It's a golf ball.
No,
they're different.
No.
Oh my god! Are tennis balls?
Well, actually, tennis balls are the same thing. Like,
it's a thing, Sav.
Yeah,
it's a status thing.
Wow.
Like, it's a thing.
Oh, it's a status thing.
Like legit.
I actually don't doubt that at all.
People look down on you.
We
like,
just literally talked about
actually,
how
in tennis, though,
it's a business transaction.
You're hitting those. Like my wife, I took my wife to play, and she had these like lime green balls, and I was like, "Babe, those are range balls." And she was like, "It's a golf ball. I can hit it." I was like, "Not over here. You can't." And she was like, "But I can." And I was like,
Next time you go golfing,
Yeah.
me and your wife will go to the driving range and just hit them.
Yeah,
That's fun for me.
At the driving range, you can hit them.
you can hit those balls. Yeah,
I love it.
On the course, you cannot play with.
Well, I'm bad at the
We
actual
can't play
game.
with driving range balls out there. People are like, "What are you doing?"
No. Yeah, they might even actually ask you to leave.
That's very proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but tennis balls are different. They feel different.
Get eaten alive out on a golf course.
How so?
So like a Dunlop ball is a little bit firmer, a little harder.
Okay.
They're all about the same felt and weight, but I mean, I can hit a pin tennis ball and it feels lighter than if I hit a Wilson ball. And Wilsons tend to fluff up.
How's that affect how you play? Like, do you look at the type of ball you're playing with before you play? Like,
you look at the ball. You look at the ball.
Now that I'm thinking about, because I used to play softball, and they have different.
Yeah.
So I'm acting like it's crazy. It's not.
Yeah.
But you look at the ball and you look at the court you're going to be on and the conditions.
Yeah. All of that plays
all
a
that
part.
plays into how you're going to restring your racket or set it up for that day.
Or do you change balls, or does the tournament provide the balls?
The tournament provides the balls. So like if we're going to go play a tournament next weekend, they're using Wilson balls. This week we're going to try to practice with Wilson balls.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So
because
depending
that feels
on
different on the racket.
It feels feels completely different.
Okay.
Like you take a good player and they're like, I can tell a difference in the way the ball feels.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of recreational players would have no idea.
Yeah.
But college players for sure.
Okay.
Professional players for sure.
For sure. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say your top 3 attributes of a great tennis player is?
I like that question.
Wow. Consistent with their preparation, meaning like they're taking care of their racket, their equipment, they're taking care of their body, those type things. So consistency with preparation, willingness to change. Because if I'm playing you, I play you have a game style. I play you have a different game style. Well, my games, the way I play may suit up great against you, right? And I win that match easy. Mm-hmm. But against you, my game style doesn't match up so good. So I've got to get out of what I like doing and sometimes be a little bit more uncomfortable. So we say all the time, I've got to get you being comfortable in an uncomfortable situation.
Wow.
So that's what we're trying to do. So
Okay.
I mean, those are top 2 for me right there.
Top 2 for you?
Yeah,
okay.
top 2 for me.
And now
So adaptability, like to kind of like, in a sense?
Yeah. The conditions, the way they're playing, you may be playing out of your mind that day. And so I've got to just say, look, you're going to hit some great shots, stay in it, wait till I get my opening,
Okay. And that brings me to another question. And I don't really know how to ask it, but you mentioned earlier it's psychological. A lot of it is very like mental.
Yeah.
Does that have to do with the opponent, like people staring each other down, like in a chess match or like a poker game? Or like how is it, if it's mostly mental? Let's get into that.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing. You've got some players that you're playing against and they just, they're off the charts, mentally unstable, right? They're yelling, they're screaming. There's a lot, especially in college tennis, we see that a lot. The guys are so vocal, and they're using up a lot of energy, and they're doing that in a way, not necessarily in a bad way, but to kind of, set the tone. Like, I'm here to play. And
is that frowned upon? I feel like it's like trash talking is not really.
It is a little bit, but it's also part of the game.
Okay.
Especially at the college level, as you move up, it's less and less.
Okay.
But you got to remember, you're out there. It's a boxing match. It's me against you. We're gonna just keep hitting you with punches, forehands and backhands, until you crack or till I can see a weakness, and then.
That's why I asked, because it's not a team sport. It's like, even if you are playing on teams, there's less. It's not like so much as a team is coming at me, I got to defend myself. It's like
no, but in the especially in college, I've got my team over there, so every time I'm a little bit down, I got to look over there and say, all right, you got me. You're giving me that good energy from the fence. So it's one of the really tough sports out there because it is individual in a team environment.
Yeah.
And you've got to be able to kind of bridge back and forth. And you go from singles, where it's just you, to now we're playing doubles together. So now I'm part of the team. It's when you make a mistake, I got to give you that fist bump and bring you back up. Is
there a? I know the answer to this because it's always like an internet debate, especially with someone like Serena. What's the talk about the big jump between women's tennis and men's tennis, and the gap between performance
Gerell,
level?
you got good questions
you about to get me in trouble here too.
No.
Like, do you think Serena could beat Roger Federer?
No,
not a chance.
No, and here's the thing. Like, years ago, Venus and Serena played a German guy, Karsten Brosch. He was literally he was smoking cigarettes on the changeover. And he pounded them. And I'm not saying women can't play. I'm just saying it's a different game.
Yeah.
And our guys and girls at UT Southern, we practice together. It's part of what we do. We'll play practice matches and practice sets, singles and doubles against each other, guys versus girls, because a lot of times the guys play very powerful. The girls play really, really smart. And I want my guys to learn to be smarter, and I want my girls to hit with pace.
Powerful.
Get used to that, the girl, that match that they're going to play against where the girl just is ripping the ball. I need you to be able to see both sides of it. So
I feel like it's a metaphor for life sometimes too.
I think that's what my argument. I am married to a feminist. My wife is, and we talk about this all the time. But I think God made us different for a reason.
Right.
Any day of the week, she's smarter than me. Every day of the week. I'll give her every day of the week, she's smarter than me, right? To your point, to your analogy point, right?
Yeah.
Every day of the week, I'm more powerful than she is. If I could, and which is why, like, she works in HR, she's like, yo, if you just think about this, like, and it's like, oh, I didn't. I move with aggression, right? That's my step one, right?
Yeah.
And so there are times where, like, we're on different ends, and if we take on the attributes of each other,
right,
then we could move better. So, like, to your point,
I agree with that.
If I can get my girls to just get used to the pace and the power, that then when she plays, the girl's gonna be super easy, right?
Yeah,
she's gonna be like, oh, that's it. Like, I'm ready. If I get my guys to get out of be aggressive, but be smart.
Smart about your shots.
But be smart about, like, bring that aggressive after you've thought about it, right?
I so agree.
Have
with
a
what
plan.
you're saying.
Like, plan that aggression.
The girls go into it with a plan. The guys tend to just go into it like, I'm gonna kind of find my way through it.
You. Yeah, I'm stronger than you. I'm gonna show you that.
I'm gonna out hit you.
Yeah, I'm gonna out hit you. You won't be able to.
I think those are the toxic traits of each gender, and that applies to a lot of other things. Not just tennis. I think, and not everybody in either gender. I don't want to. I'm probably going to offend somebody. I can't really avoid that.
It's okay. We're here.
But, like, I do think that can be at the toxic trait is like, oh, I'm a female. And it's like, like, not enough power, not enough aggression. Like, because we're the good girls. We want to, like, be a good person. We want to be nice. That's not
the gift that God gave you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right. But you can tap into it if you're paying attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
And guys are the same way. It's like instinctually dominance, assert myself, aggression, you know, but it's like if you learn to channel that,
you got to learn how to control it,
tap into your other side
pull
of
it back
yourself,
sometimes.
like and have the discipline to pull back. You know, there's discipline on both sides, I think, required. If you have the discipline as a woman to be like, okay, I'm going to push myself to be a little bit more forceful with this. You know, I'm going to speak. More aggressive. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to, you know, like, and then men, you know, I'm going to learn to channel my aggression and be smart about my next move. You know?
I think that's what made Serena so great is that she was aggressive, but also smart. Right. She could set you up. And then once she sets you up, she could be aggressive in that setup. She's stronger than you anyway, so she's more powerful than you. So once she sets you up, she can move with power. She's faster, more agile. Like she had all the gifts, but she also she learned the game and played smart first.
I think that's so important for a sport that's like an individual, even if it is a team sport, tennis, but like I think a lot about boxing and Muay Thai. Like that's so increasingly important, you know, to individually channel both sides of that. Whereas on a team sport, like you could kind of get away with being one or the other because you're on a team, you know, and then someone's going to pick
make up that aggression or that smartness or whatever.
Exactly.
It happens even when we play some of our girls will play another team, and we see this a lot when we'll step it up a notch. We'll play a couple of Division I teams, and you know some of the girls there are just bigger, stronger, faster, and you know you just have to be prepared, and you can be prepared, but then at the end of the day, are you physically capable? You know, you only have so much gas in the tank. You're only as good as your body's going to allow you to be. And if you're 5'4" and 100 pounds, and the girl you're playing against is just bigger and faster and stronger, you pack a lunch. You know. Okay, coach. What are you telling that 5'4" girl playing that 5'7" powerhouse across the net, and you know in your heart, hey, she probably doesn't stand a chance. Hey, what coaching? What are you saying? Turn to coach. We got to find a way to get her to come to us and play our style, which is maybe a little bit slower. Maybe change up the pace a little bit, or make sure that it goes long. Because
wear
her down because she's got a lot of gas in the tank. She's going to play really fast, and what we want to do is we still want to be out here in another hour and a half. Because then she's going to be out of gas. Because playing that big of a style is not going to last over a 2-hour window.
You got to take her in deep water. I like that.
That's playing smart.
Yeah.
I want to talk about pickleball because
before we pivot to pickleball, let's take a quick break, and then I do want to jump into pickleball as well.
Okay.
Hey Nashville, want to keep your brows looking sharp without spending a dime? At Waxing the City Brentwood, we've got you covered with Free Brow Wednesdays. Yes, you heard that right. Every Wednesday, you can get a free brow wax. No catch, no cost. Whether you're prepping for the gym, gearing up for a business meeting, or just looking to feel your best, Free Brow Wednesday is the perfect way to treat yourself. And did we mention it's completely free? That's right, free every single Wednesday. But don't wait, spots fill up fast, and you don't want to miss out. Book your Free Brow Wednesday now at Waxing the City in Brentwood. Find us on Instagram at Waxing the City Brentwood, or give us a call at 615-914-2700.
Free brow offer for new clients only.
All right, and we are back. We're going to jump right back in. Okay. So we've been talking about tennis and like kind of comparing it to some other things, but let's talk about pickleball.
Yeah.
The world's or America's fastest growing sport is what they call it.
Before we jump into it, because do
black people do this?
In spurts, it's becoming a thing.
Everybody does it.
It's becoming a thing.
Me.
My people are getting out there. We're in pickleball.
I'm one of those people that like as soon as it's trending, I'm like,
are black people doing it?
Just in general.
Can you tell us the difference, or tell me? I don't know if they know, but tell me the difference between tennis and pickleball because they seem very similar.
Yeah, well, it's similar. Pickleball scoring is just, there's no way to explain it. You have to go out there and suffer through it. It's so confusing, but pickleball is basically mini tennis, like a smaller version of tennis combined with a little bit of ping pong in it. And it's gotten so popular because and I'm gonna get a little hate for this, but if you have no athletic ability, you can still be a pretty good pickleball player.
Oh, that is why it's.
Is it like racquetball?
No, I think it's easier than racquetball. Racquetball. Okay. This is the easiest sport you're going to be able to pick up. A lot of times, because I was the guy 10 years ago who saw it coming, hated pickleball, right? Because I'm a tennis purist.
Okay.
I've done tennis all my life. I still wear a collared shirt when I'm on the court, right?
Yeah.
So I'm that guy. And I hated pickleball, but then I saw, especially during the pandemic, like how many people loved it because they could do it with their friends and they could actually become a decent pickleball player in an hour or two. I mean, tennis.
Good to know.
Tennis is very difficult to become good.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of effort and work, and you still may not get there.
Yeah.
But pickleball, you can play it, and you can play with your friends and the family, and you play in your backyard on the pavement, and it's accessible and it's very social. I mean, nowadays, I think one of the reasons why it's blown up so much is because you've got these bars and these gyms and places where people will just go play it and then hang out and eat and drink. And I mean, to me, it's a little bit more social than tennis.
Okay.
Because of the shortened format and
is it more socially? I was gonna say the accessibility financially.
yeah, I mean, you can go out there, but that's funny though too, because when it first started, you could go out and get a paddle for like $25, $30, $45.
Yeah.
Now it's $250
For a pickleball
for a pickleball paddle.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
And what's crazy
People
is
get really competitive with it too. I've heard
Yeah,
people
I've
talk
seen,
about it,
yeah.
and I'm like, okay.
and they got to have the outfit now, and they got to have the pickleball shoe, which is crazy because a lot of companies have a line of tennis shoes, and then they took the same shoe and they just stitched pickleball on it, and
now
they
it's
charge
a
you an extra $50.
Yeah.
And now it's a pickleball shoe.
So what's
You're all
the
suckers out there.
yeah?
No, I'm
what's
just kidding.
what's the pickleball outfit versus like in comparison to the tennis outfit? Is it the same or is
it's
it
pretty much the same.
Pretty
now.
much the same thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much the same thing. It's
Okay.
you've got like my pickleball paddle. I customize it as well, like
you do.
racket. Put lead
Look,
tape
you're
on
allowed. You're a coach.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are getting really, really into it
Yeah.
because it's. I don't want to say it's a cult, but it's very.
It has a cult like following.
It really does.
It really does. Yeah.
I think because you can find success easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not going to go out there and just start playing golf and be good at it. You're going to
Tell me
suck
about
for a
it.
long time.
Yeah, even
For a long
even
time.
after a long time, you're still
This
gonna,
is an
depends on the day, you're
unpopular
still gonna
opinion,
suck.
but that's part of the reason that I don't really care to play pickleball.
To play
Because you can be
Easy
good.
for everyone.
Oh yeah.
Well, else, so mine's the opposite, like because it's addictive. Like I have a guy who plays at my gym. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to a tournament. We play for like 7 hours straight." And I was like, "Yeah, I can't explain that. I can't tell my wife I'm not coming home for 4 hours because I'm playing pickleball.
Yeah,
like
no.
she's not going for that. Like I was like, I don't need.
What about
anything
golf
else.
though? Because golf is
But
5
that's
hours.
once every, like he's like
Oh.
every
well, and
weekend.
golf is like it
Yeah.
evolves. Like a tennis match, like that's a I know pickleball, but they play multiple matches, right?
Yeah, because
That
you can
long?
play a match in like 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Golf,
Okay.
that
Much
doesn't
faster.
work that way. You're out there for a while because you got 18 holes
Right.
Yeah.
to get through.
If
And they
you
all
play-
look
yeah, if you
different.
play 18,
like
yeah. She gets it now when I took her out there. She's like, "Oh, okay, I get it. It's nice out here." I was like,
Right.
"I told you,
It's peaceful,
It's
yeah.
peaceful."
Yeah.
What like? I'm very competitive. So and I like hate it. So I know like
You don't
I'm-
wanna lose.
Yeah,
nothing.
So
Yeah.
So in the beginning, I'm like, I'm not leaving here, Billy, until I win. So you
know
call
what?
whatever you need to call, right? Because we're gonna be
Have
here
you ever
until I
played-
win. We're gonna be
We're gonna be here 7 hours.
We're gonna be here.
Call your wife, hold
Call your
dinner,
wife,
baby.
Hey, man, listen.
Yeah.
have you played before?
No, I've never played.
Okay,
But that's
so
why.
that's why, like,
That's
I need to,
why,
like,
yeah.
Be humble because I've never played pickleball and I'm sitting over here talking about it like I'm,
like-
I feel like we need to do the show on the road. We need to do
know, right?
a
I
show from the pickleball court.
I do love. Here's what I want to
I
say.
can-
I do love. First of all, I want to say I do love that this is a like sport that is accessible.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's
It gets
just
people
a way.
moving. Yeah, it's getting people moving.
If there is something out there that's getting more people to move more, then I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Second thing I want to say is we should actually do some kind of episode, podcast,
Yeah.
Instagram post for Nashville Fit where you and I go play pickleball for the
Mic
first
it up.
time.
See, here's the
Neither
thing.
of us
Bro.
have played.
You're gonna have to take me through a very good.
I think Bill should.
Here's the thing.
No,
I'll teach you.
So I was gonna say a very good warm up because our podcast friend Gunner tore his hamstring off the bone playing pickleball.
Oh my
Like he had to have
God.
surgery for it. Like so that's why that's like when because he's the same. He's like I was losing. And I was like, I'm about to make it up. And then he's like, so he started going all out. And he's like, next thing I know, like I was just falling to the ground because I
Oh my
tore
God.
my
But
That's the thing.
hamstring
That's the
off
thing
the ball.
I said earlier. Like, here's what happens. This is a warm up for a pickleball player.
was
They
probably
get
like
out of their
black and
car,
purple.
Yeah.
and they walk to the court, and they pick up their paddle and they just start playing.
Yeah.
There's literally no warm up at all.
No warm up at all.
And they play like there's no tomorrow. Like they do not want to lose. And
My clients
you're going to get
me
hurt
with knee pain because of pickleball. She's like, I played pickleball really hard this weekend. My knee kind of hurts.
I saw a report like it's billions of dollars that these surgeons are going to make because of pickleball. Because of pickleball, all these doctors are buying extra houses and new Porsches and you name it because all these people are
trainers.
jacked up.
Yeah, let's get you ready. Yeah, let us get you ready.
And that's my thing though. If you're going to play competitive pickleball, and there's so much money in it now. Like a lot of my tennis buddies are leaving tennis and coming over because they can play professional pickleball in no time. Yeah. And there's tons of sponsors, tons of money.
Oh my God. It's know it was that deep.
Crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
But
maybe I should. You said you could get good in an hour.
Yeah. I mean, no. You can learn how to play in an hour and get good.
I say get good.
It's gonna take at least a week to get good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a week is not a long time.
So you picked it up fairly quick because you were anti initially. What made you make the switch?
Very anti. I started seeing all these buddies of mine. We were coming over, and I mean, at my age, I mean, it's tough for me to play tennis. I've got to have a new knee put in. I've already had 3 or 4 knee surgeries.
Then we need to play before you get your new knee.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to win, baby. I beat Bill. He's all right. I mean, but I beat him.
but it's just tougher, And so on a pickleball court, I can still cover the court in singles where, dude, I can't do that anymore in singles tennis. It's just too much.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's attractive because you can play at a pretty competitive level with anybody nowadays because everybody's kind of into it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's so many injuries. So many injuries.
What are the most common? Because I know
knees and like pulled muscles,
hamstrings,
torn
Achilles.
muscles, hamstrings. I mean, just the gamut. And a lot of times people are like, "Oh, I'll just get a new paddle," and they'll get something that's too heavy or too stiff, and they'll get tennis elbow or
put a
pickleball elbow,
and then I'm good to go.
Yeah. There's no preparation of their body for playing for 4 hours.
Playing for 4 hours at a time.
Yeah.
You go from 0 to 4 hours. Yeah.
It's
then
crazy.
Let's direct some advice to the audience. What would your advice be if people are into pickleball, maybe want to get into pickleball?
Yeah.
What do you have to say to most of the people? Because there's a lot of people that play pickleball.
Yeah, and I do a lot of camps, and I mean, I could literally leave tennis and do pickleball full time if I wanted to. Mm-hmm. There's such a demand out there, but I think the biggest thing is put some time into drilling and getting your skills better. Mm-hmm. Put time into getting your body healthier. To your point earlier, we were talking about, what would these people be doing? I went to the Senior Pickleball Olympics down in Chattanooga about a year or so ago, and there was 500 over 50-year-old players out there, all the way up into their 90s. And there's 500 people out there playing pickleball over the course of a weekend, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, what would these people be doing if they're not playing pickleball?
Yeah.
Probably sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
A lot of them are not playing tennis. A lot of them were ex-tennis players who physically couldn't cover a tennis court, but they could play pickleball. Yeah. But yeah, they've just got to put more time into their body. And we talked earlier, recovery, like take a day off, rest, use your Theragun, go to cryo, do something to get your body healed up so that you can continue to play. Because
I also feel like, just as a strength coach, an emphasis on strength training, because I mean, you see the same thing in a runner, who doesn't strength train, more liable to get hurt because you don't have the proper lower body strength to do what you're asking of your body every day or whatever. Like if you're trying to run a marathon and you're not strengthening your glutes and your hamstrings and your quads, like your joints are like, what are we doing here? And then it makes sense the same with any other sport. You're demanding it to change directions really fast. Right. You're demanding it to rotate. And, so it's like, I'm not saying like mimic the sport exactly in the gym and anything like that, but drill it. But basic foundation of strength, I think, can go a long way to preventing injuries.
Movement, flexibility, and the other thing too is their equipment. A lot of it just kills me because I'll look out at the pickleball court, and I don't see it as much on the tennis court anymore. But pickleball for sure, they're out there in running shoes. You know, they're wearing like Hokas or something.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting to watch them fall over
yeah.
Trent, is this my camera?
rip out their ankle.
I love that you said that. Yeah.
Oh, it kills me. It's my
What are
big
Hokas
pet
even
peeve.
good for?
Nurses.
There you go. Yeah.
You're on,
Like,
you're on your feet
people
for a
wear
while.
them in athletic
They're
settings,
comfortable.
gym settings. Oh, I'm sure they are,
They're
but
very
like, so
comfortable,
is,
yeah.
you know.
Nah.
Yeah, but if you're trying to play
No, I
pickleball
agree
or
with
tennis
you. No,
and you're 3 inches off the ground,
you're
it's-
definitely
People
gonna-
wear
you're
them in
definitely
strength
gonna-
training
you're definitely
classes
gonna
too, and I'm
stumble.
like, how are
kills
you?
me.
Yeah.
You're not stable at all.
No.
You know, like
Take us through. We've preached to them. Take us through what a dynamic warm up would be before a pickleball or a tennis match. What does that look like?
Oh, it's shuffles. It's butt kicks. It's
so a lot of plyometrics.
yeah. It's just some movement. I don't care. I don't care what you do. Karaoke, a 10-yard sprint or shuffles, anything like that. Just something to kind of get the body moving and running.
How long should that take?
If I'm going to go play, I'm going to
Yeah.
spend 15 minutes doing that. And then I'm going to spend, another 10 minutes, 15 minutes of like literally warming up before I actually play. But these folks, they just don't do it.
So like hitting, warming up, or what? Like,
Yeah, just hitting, warming up.
okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do some kind of physical warm up without my paddle, without my racket for 15, 20 minutes beforehand. Get out there and do that. A lot of times they're not doing anything with their shoulders, or there's no upper body stretching. They may do a few slide shuffles, but then there's nothing else. And then hitting, just hitting back and forth without playing, not being under competition or pressure, and then work your way into it. Because a lot of these people, they don't do anything. They work a desk job or something like that, and they jump in the car and they go play, and they're like, well, why am I hurting so much? Like, you've done nothing other than one extreme, you got off the couch, to another extreme.
Yeah.
They talk about in the strength training world, when load exceeds capacity, it's usually you're going to get hurt. I feel like the same applies here. It's like if you're not warmed up, or you don't typically ask your body consistently to do what you're about to do in this sport, like if you're not warming up the serve and then like doing that over and over again, for a hot minute, like, the repetition, just like we do with warm-ups in a strength training.
It's funny you said the serve, because in tennis, at least in tennis, you'll take some time to warm up your serve. You'll hit some balls. You'll hit 20 balls, right?
Well, I played
in pickleball, you don't.
No, you just go.
Oh.
Pickleball players,
You don't
they,
serve?
they won't practice their serve.
Okay, don't.
Well,
practice
they probably don't even know to.
I'm telling you, I think
Because I feel like tennis is considered more of a sport, right? Like a competitive sport. So I feel like if you're going to play tennis, you're most likely going to hire a coach or be in a
Right.
setting where you're training.
Yeah.
Pickleball has grown so quickly, so fast, that people are just like, oh, this is something I can do.
Right.
They don't consider it necessarily something they need to hire a coach for or learn about, like, how do
Yeah.
I, but
But there's a lot of
what you
coaches that are
saying
moving
is
over to it.
You should.
You should be. You should have
considering
a coach, and you should be doing something to strength train, to work on flexibility, mobility, those type things. I'm telling you, trainers, if they just hung out at the pickleball courts, with some business cards, cruise around, you're gonna pick up some business.
Sick. I'm going to the pickleball courts.
Just if you need us, we're gonna be down at the pickleball
He's
courts.
just so
Who's got
sad on
pain?
playing pickleball.
Who's
She's
got
gonna
pain?
come out
Because
of
I
there.
legitimately have clients who play pickleball.
Yeah.
I had one. He's not my client anymore, but a lot of his pain, he would come from pickleball, and I'd be like, "Homie, like, it's coming from pickleball. Like, if you do what I'm telling you, we can help that, But he had so many other things he wanted to work on. But
Gotcha.
yeah,
And now we've got something else coming down the pike here. Paddle. Do you know what paddle is?
no.
So paddle. So there's a new club in Nashville. It's down in the Neuhoff district. So paddle is basically tennis on a small court, but you have glass balls in the back. It's the fastest growing sport in the world.
Whoa.
Fastest
Hold on.
growing.
So what do you hit the ball against the glass wall?
So you take a tennis ball that's kind of a little bit deflated.
Okay.
You take a paddle, which is bigger than a pickleball paddle. It's thicker. It's a little bit bigger. A lot of them have holes drilled into it so they move through the air.
Yeah.
But it was kind of started in Mexico years ago from this dad who didn't have a big enough space for his daughter to play tennis. So he built and created paddle in his backyard, and it's taken off in Europe. Like every club over there has it. And now it's really hit the United States.
Sheesh.
Nashville's already got one club. It's very kind of bougie and once again, very easy to get into.
More bougie than tennis?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's really cool.
Okay.
Like that's the other thing. We should go down and play some paddle.
Okay.
Since the paddle is downtown, it's you
Paddleists.
play a little bit and you have some food, some drinks. It's really cool.
You guys are trying to get me into this.
I feel like
to
this
these
is-
paddle games. Yeah.
This is for Gerell.
Man, we could sit here and talk to you all day, Billy. We love to leave our people with the last word. And so we gotta wrap up here, unfortunately. It can
we're
be
gonna make
about tennis.
plans.
It can be not about tennis. But what would you like to leave our guests with? One last thing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's about just movement.
Yeah.
You know, it's consistent movement. I mean, movement. I put out there and I kind of preach to our players all the time. Consistency.
Yeah.
And I think consistent movement, especially as you're aging, and you know, I think that's one of the things that kind of saved me because you know there was some many years where I was on like the wrong path with my health and those type things, and you know, finding a way to be consistent with your movement, consistent with your workouts, you know, and consistent with your eating, you know, making better choices. Those are the things to me that I think that really got to get across to people.
Yeah. If nothing else, I love, to your point earlier, Sav, if nothing else, I love that we are getting a demographic of people who normally wouldn't move to move now. Like they're jumping into a level of activity that they wouldn't normally have. So I can't promise you that I'm going to pick up pickleball. I will at some point play you in tennis. Now that I know that you can't move side to side, for real, I got you.
It's gonna be the highest rated show ever when we go on remote to a tennis court.
Baby. He's gonna have me running across the court. He's not gonna move. I already see it happening. It's like, yeah, he won't get. He's gonna have me sprinting back and forth. But we gotta get up out of here. I am the Gerell Webb. This is my girl.
I am Sav. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here
you
today,
so much.
Bill.
This has been a
I-
blast. Been a blast. Thank you so
like
much.
a million more questions,
I know.
but you know, we will definitely need to speak more about these.
Yeah.
This paddleist.
I love
Absolutely.
it.
I
I
can
love
see
it.
Gerell being a professional paddleist.
Well, hey
If
now.
it's bougie,
Hey now.
he's already got the golf outfit.
Oh, we're still talking about. Okay, never mind. We'll talk to you guys right next time you press play, baby.